Panthers and the Falcons. Look, it's Panthers and Falcons. We can't, they're all great games. This is the NFL. Mindy, Panthers
Yes.
and Falcons here. Look, it's even look. We want to see young. We want to see these young quarterbacks. How will they fare in week one? We know, typically it's usually a disaster. But Bryce Young, even Ritter, bigger Young's career trajectory, even though he's coming in with, being a rookie and all. We know Ritter's had some experience, but how much really has he, had, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, exactly. He finished what, the last 4 or 5 games, perhaps last year. But yeah, I've seen bold predictions for this Falcons team. I'm not so sure they're going to win that division, but we'll take a look at it as we go here. It's going to be exciting. I mean, what more do you want than 2 kind of rookie quarterbacks, right? Bryce Young under center. It's going to be a fun time. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the over here. 39 seems a little low to me to start this one off with some pretty powerful guys out there. You got Bijan Robinson, you got Cordarrelle Patterson. I really like that you got Adam Thielen there now for Bryce Young to get the ball to. I'm not so sure that it's going to be a big defensive game here. I think they may struggle a little bit, even though these 2 teams, I think, are maybe going to be known for their defense as the season goes. I just don't think it's going to be this game. And I think 39.5 right now is a little bit too low. Taking the over.
Okay, I'll give you that. I will say this, that this is just a generality as we start the coverage here. I know we talked about last night's game and we were on the under. Mindy gives out the over here. I understand. In fact, she's getting the best of the number now. It opened as high as 42 and go down to 39. I get it as far as her play, but also the move with rookie quarterback, even Ritter, division game, all that. Last year, there were 43.8 points scored in the NFL during games in the NFL season. Mindy and I talked about the Chiefs average at home. That's kind of like they were a little bit above average, right? They're the Chiefs. They got a great offense. So that's actually their average at home was a little bit above the league average last year. But, before that, in the previous year before last year was also low scoring. If you go back to the 2020 season, there were an average of 49.6 points for the entire season. Get this, in just 2 years, they have lopped off 6 points. And look, if you might even say, though, it's a small sample. Is it? It's the entire season. The whole catalog, 17. Well, we know a couple seasons ago it was 60, but 17 games now. So even a bigger sample, anyways, right, of late. So 6 points off whatever's happened. There isn't like some serious rule changes we've talked about, like with college football. That's a big difference right there. Almost a full touchdown less in 2 years. And I don't know if the numbers are necessarily reflecting that, because what we're seeing with over-unders, I mean, it is just a lot of unders. But I'll cover that here no matter what. Mindy goes over in this one. Look, the sharps are going to be under this one. The steam came in on the under. I'm not down on Mindy's play. Like I said, she's getting the best of the number. I'm not even sure I trust that steam all that much. But give me in a division game. I like Bryce Young. I think Carolina's got a good program. I think Atlanta is overrated. We'll see. They've got a lot of work to do, but division game, I'm getting a hook on there, a field goal. I'm on Carolina here. I don't think this game's going to be anything special in this one. So no, well, tell me now, it's been the extra point's been like that for through that period right now. So let's see. Oh, Mike, thank you for your stats as well. All right, great. Appreciate you. All right, Mindy. Only a few. Thomas Lewis on the Atlanta Falcons here, and Daryl. What does he say? Daryl always has these great comments, but I don't want to take up too much time. He says, "I bet the Panthers against the Falcons because Ritter has circled this game against." Oh, he bet the
saying it's a re-challenge
against the
from
Falcons.
college days, yeah.
But he says Ritter has circled this game. Ritter's on the Falcons. So I'm not making sense of it. Am I missing the point here? Oh, he's saying don't be fooled by – he's saying bet Bryce – okay. He's saying bet Bryce Young.
Right.
No. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But he says Ritter has circled this game.
Yeah. But he's saying don't believe the hype, I think.
Okay. Okay. I'm not – look, I'm lucky to be here on this channel. All right. Welcome back, says Burley. He didn't sit to say hi yesterday. Mindy Rem, most in the chat today. Hello. Texas and Ravens. So we've got to talk about a little bit more young quarterback action with Stroud up against Jackson here, certainly. The line has moved off the double digits here a little bit. Usually, Mindy, double-digit division or double-digit road dogs, pretty strong usually. But here now it's down to single digits, so maybe throw those out the window a little bit. But still, I'm not sure. Definitely the biggest. Here's the other great thing. Even if a couple of these matchups are kind of, they're close, it's going to be an exciting day on Sunday to start the year. This one notwithstanding, it might not be. What do you got?
Well, I mean, I feel like this spread's a little high, right, for me. But I think it's reasonable all at the same time. But I do remember last year you have the Texans team that covered a lot of games there at the end of the season. The Chiefs, notably, I'm pretty sure we were on that one when they were getting about 12. So it's not one that I think too many pro teams get blown out by 10 points or more. But I think if it was going to happen, it would probably be more or less the Ravens, right? So I'm kind of unsure here what I'm going to take a look at on the side, but I do think this one here is going to be to the under. It is 7-4 to the under when you have an opening line of 44. It's kind of like what you were talking about there. If we just kind of take a look at some of these trends that happen in the NFL regarding these opening line numbers, I think this Ravens defense is going to be tough, a tough task here for Stroud, but I'm interested to see how it goes. But I'll take the under.
It is interesting that you mentioned it. Yeah, I'll continue a little bit on some of that because you did take the under here in this one, and you got a Stroud in there. How is he going to fare against this Raven? Hey, I don't know if it's a big deal, but the Ravens have lost 2 straight games, and those were preseason games. We know how important that is for the Ravens. I'm kidding, but
not at the same time, right? I mean, they had that streak forever,
right? So we'll see. But here's the other thing about that is that the Ravens are actually one of the strong. They're 6-1 against the spread last 7 years in Week 1, but they're just absolutely dismal as home favorites. They've covered just 10 of their last 13. Really? So not great. Now, this has been a disaster trip. Texans would make to Baltimore.
Did you see that was Week 1's? It was
Ravens 6-1 against the spread.
You said they were 10 of their last 13. Was that in just Week 1?
That was last 2 years. Baltimore is 3-10 against the spread as a home favorite.
Home favorite. Gotcha.
Yeah. But I do want to add, this was the one that caught my eye because you mentioned that you preferred the under in this game, and non-division. Let's see. This is a strong situation when you have these double-digit underdogs on the road. Usually, is a little bit of an under situation. So that's kind of what kind of stands out to me because I'm going to see how their line goes. My indicators are that maybe it's over. I'm going to end up on Houston here, getting the points. And yeah, I mean, I'll probably even have to buy it up to at least get over that 10.5 now if it's gone down. NFL, I'm not screwing around. Don't know if you know this, but the games seem to land on, kind of the same numbers. You can only score points in 3s
That's
and
correct.
7s and 1s and 2s. Apparently 6, 6s and 1s and 3s and 2s. So they kind of end up in one spot. I'm going to take the Texans here, give them a chance to hang in their professional football. Come on, what are you guys doing in the chat? Let's see here. Appreciate you guys kind of coming in with the plays here now. Burley overslept after the Thursday night game. He was having a good time.
Everyone's got a case of the Fridays. So.
No, maybe that's what it was, because we're not quite up to our other numbers. I know there's other shows that are, this is the time of year we're here every day, Mindy. It's like 300 now. We're going to be here every day. But
that's right.
I know there's some other shows that kind of go on. Here's an over, but here's an under. And who said take the Ravens? Ravens. Well, blowout. I think he means lay the points, but I mean he's saying blowout. Yep. We're over here. Okay. And we've got Burley. He's taking the dog. Certainly. Yeah. Yeah, Burley. Well, not always. I'm right. I mean, when it says 9.5, I want it 10. And then, if I'm going to have to pay 20 or 30 cents, I'm probably going to do it. And I'll probably sprinkle a little more on the next one up as well. And go to 10.5 or maybe some 11. In NFL football, I'm not put. If I'm taking a round number like a $500 bet, I'm not going to go 500, boom, win or lose. I'm going to go 100, 200, maybe another 2. I'm going to spread it around a little bit. Around that number in football, because you only get so many chances, and we love football, but we only get so many games. Okay, Mindy, keep it going. Bengals and Browns here in this one. Congratulations to Joe Burrow.
Right.
He made a lot of money yesterday. His family is set for generations to come with his massive contract yesterday. I don't think it's going to make him any worse this week than he's great. But you know what? Joe Burrow's not so – the Bengals have a problem here.
They do. The Bengals' problem is they don't usually beat the Browns. Isn't that what it is? But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back to the under again, Ramon, here in this one. I just kind of feel like there is this thing kind of hanging over the heads of this Bengals team when they get into to Cleveland there. They just have trouble. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the under. I feel like they're going to be scrambling again to try to come back and get the victory. So, yeah, under here in this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an under. I mean, I would think this has to be. Look at this total. It's 47.5
for the Browns.
I can't see that happen. I can't see that happen. I mean, I can't see that happening here. Now, look, I mean, we got Burrow, we've got Watson. We're kind of moving away from all the I don't know if we'll ever move away from the controversy, but
you don't hear about it as much.
All right. And who knows? Here comes Sean with the Bengals in this one. And Burley said, I like the money line, Mindy, with the Browns in this one.
Probably.
But maybe Joey B comes and they can get a last-second victory. It could happen. But I think it's a division game. I'm going to give you you want me to blow up your stat, right? You want me to give you the crusher trend in this game for the under. I love to get you excited
Crush
with
my
this.
dreams.
Short road favorites of 3 points or less last season. Under came in 35 of the 46 times it happened. 76% of the games
46
went under. 35 unders, 11 overs, with road favorites of 3 points or less on the road, 76% last season. 46 games.
I like that stat. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Especially when you're dealing with a total that, to me, this is, right? It is, other than, the morning games, this is the highest total on the board.
Yeah.
I called it early game. Sorry, I'm on the West Coast, you guys. Sorry about that. Half the people probably know what I'm talking about. 40% of the people know what I'm saying. So, all right, there's what you go on that one. Daryl may be favoring the other way, but Dre's on Cincinnati. And you're right. Division game is division dogs, no doubt. Division home dog. You can go on, and the fact that not only that, Bengals have had big time trouble. We're on Cleveland. Did I say the wrong thing? We're on the under, right, Mindy?
We're on Cleveland and the under, yes.
Did I just give out my premium again?
You did.
No wonder my sales are down.
Right.
All right.
Giving everything away for free.
This baseball season, I keep giving out the winners here. Germany leads, but just by 6, under 4 to play. Jaguars and the Colts. Well, this is going to be interesting. I feel bad for this kid in a way, Mindy. Anthony Richardson. Look, maybe the Colts. They're a bit of a misfit organization. Maybe that's one of the problems here with Irsay. And remember when they hired Saturday they hired him for a couple of Sundays. But still, Jaguars are we saw them have crazy games last year. They couldn't hold leads. They made massive comebacks. This is a division game, and you have a road favorite.
Uh-oh. Well, Anthony Richardson is. Yeah, he's not my favorite guy out there, right? I was thinking there was lots of other guys perhaps the Colts should have picked instead, but they like him, and maybe he won't make those throwing errors that he did in college, right? But I kind of just feel like maybe he's going to be the one to give this Colts team a spark. Look at what they've had, like no spark with, Matty Ice, no spark much with, who's that other guy that I can't, Carson Wentz. I just feel like the Colts have been this just blah team. So maybe I feel like they got a little bit of a chance here. I'm going to go ahead and take the Colts at home and take the points here, plus 4 or 5. I think they get it done.
Now, here's the thing. If you lined up the quarterbacks in like one of those pictures, with a standing there, and you'd want Anthony Richardson.
Right.
You'd be like, that's, I don't know if he could, we got to go look at him throw, but this is the guy I'm most interested in walking out there on the field, seeing him throw, and he can run, look, there's no excuses for taking him. You look at the statistics, right? Usually when you got these quarterbacks that are being drafted, they're all record-setting now, but in different situations. Richardson actually was more of and he can, like I said, he can take off running. I think maybe are the expectations high or low the way everybody's bagging on this guy? It feels like if he
I think they're low. So I think
right. So he should overage. He should have some success that isn't expected, maybe.
Perhaps.
Maybe too bad he was not on a different team. That could be the problem. I'm with you. I'm on the Colts.
All right, let's do it. Let's take the Colts.
Just take those points. Again, here you have a 5.5. Mindy, we're going to be stuck in the system probably with a 5.5. But when I'm at the window, when I'm on my app, I'm taking 6. I'm taking 6.5. I'm taking 7s. And buying it up and laying a little bit of juice here in this one. But I'll also take a little money line maybe on the Colts here. Look, nothing wrong with Jacksonville. They'll be,
I think they're still
decent. They'll be decent. Will they, they've got to still, feels like they still have to keep proving themselves a little bit. So, you say down 3. I'm having trouble keeping my eye on our show a little bit. Actually, let's see if I can pop up plays here while they're running a few here. And maybe I'm just going home dog. It's just so tough. Hey, if I'm going to have a rookie quarterback, I better take him at home and have a feeling that, I can talk about premiums a little bit, but rookie quarterback. It falls into the category too. Now, this one is a little different, but still, how about this one, Mindy? Same division, road favorites. This is a division game. Got a road favorite. There's only 30 of them last year, so this might not satisfy your sample size. But it was 22-8, 73% to the under. Same division, road favorites, 73%, 22 unders, 8 overs. Mindy and I are on the Colts here in this one. And look what Lovable said. The Colts won't score more than 19. So that would help. Look at the total. I mean, the 45. Yeah, I'm trying to explain to you that, and I just said, right? How about that, Mindy? We could cancel our NFL segment, and I would just say let's go blindly under in every game all year, and I think we will. Let's come back. Let's revisit this. I have a feeling you and I will be together in January, February. Let's revisit that. Or I'll say it every week what unders are.
Yeah.
That's.
I mean, like if you just have blind bet I know for college for sure. I don't know the numbers, but like over the last 14 years of stats, the under is like out of like 14,000 plays, right? It's like 7,000 to the under and 5,000 to the over. So I mean, if you just blind bet the unders over the last 14 years, you'd be up like 2,000 units.
And there's also a couple of sites. I think I'm going to try to find it in the Discord where, because of what I said, Mindy, with, and this is sometimes, when I'm looking like just to gamble and I don't have a play on the total and I'm leaning one way or the other, I will go to this chart and I'm going to have to bring it up and I'll put it in the Discord. But, the games land on like a particular number. Like you can look at. You're like,
55 for college.
I'm really close on this game. It's 44. And I think, for example, so like 44 is like one of the most popular numbers of the 40. Like I think it's in the 40s. 41 is the most popular of the 40s. And I just say these because the average is 40, right? 41 is the most popular, followed by 44, followed by 47. But around that number, there are certain numbers that get hit far less. For example, 41 lands 4% of the time, but 42 lands only 1.33% of the time. Yeah. And 43 lands 3.5% of the time, and 44 lands 3.7% of the time. And you can actually see where if you're just teetering on it, there's like a small percentage where if you add it up, it's going to be like, you could have like a 13% chance that it's going to go over that number and a 9.5 or 10% chance it's going to go under that number. And that can kind of put you on the right side because, we're really just dealing with math a lot of times here. I don't want to make fun of those guys and my friends, the sharps that are just, playing numbers. Otherwise you're going to end up, with some ugly sides, but everyone's, when it happens, okay, here between the Bucks and the Vikes. And in this one, the Vikings are favored by 5 and the total 45.5.
So we were just talking about all the unders, Ramon, and what am I going to do in this one? I'm going to go ahead and rush the over in this one. So when you have open at 46, right? If we're just going to take a look at betting the numbers, at 7-2 on the over on any 45, 45.5, 46, 46.5. We were just talking about this, but those are those numbers, right?
We are a boring. Good thing you're married because we are a boring date.
Right. But again, when you have those numbers,
I want all the numbers. Lay it on me. I love that shit.
So yeah, you have whenever you have 45, 45.5, 46, 46.5, like Ramon was just saying, it's 7-2 to the over on those opening lines. I'm hitting the over.
Need I say more?
Right. It's kind of funny how it worked out.
Yeah. Well, I guess I could make up a few stats, but I like the over as well. Maybe we're getting look. Baker's just fine if you like overs. I mean, he'll screw you over for a few crazy plays that'll get the defense on his short field. And you know what? He'll come back and lead them right down the field. That's the thing with Baker. It's not – nobody's down on – I mean, everybody's down on Baker kind of, right? But if Baker didn't turn the ball over, he'd be a Hall of Famer. He can take you right down the field on a moment's notice. Remember that Rams game? I mean, he was unbelievable.
Just came in and the Seahawks lit it up and hit the over in that one. That's right.
The Seahawks, right? When he had like the game of his life. But
yeah, it was like his first game. He just got traded and made that go over. Pretty sure I had the under on that one. Was all pissed off.
Look, we can bag on Baker Mayfield, but his offensive abilities are not in question. His decision making is the goofy mistake. I'm falling down, throw the ball back over my head right into the lineman's hands at the 15-yard line. These are what gets the other team in position. Germany 113, USA 111.5 seconds left.
How much?
And Reeves
35 seconds.
0.5 seconds left. Yeah. Timeout Germany here.
Who's got the ball?
Let me get to the chat here on the game. I don't want to take our show too much, but a little bit of drama here in this one. It was Austin Reeves with a putback, but that only has them down 2. They're going to need some type of foul situation here, it looks like. So it does look bad for the U.S. here. All right. We must like to gamble. I don't know. Or do we like to gamble, or are we just?
I think it's fun. I like to gamble.
Okay, good point. Let's look at these plays over here. This is the Bucs and the Vikings. Here's Dre on Minnesota. Okay. Agree with this for the most part, but there are if there is a sport where FTP comes into play, that's fade the public. This is it. This is the one. This is the one. Burley's got the Bucs here. And also, I'm also, as Germany will advance here. But Mindy, the NFL, I'm less likely to pay attention to the personnel. Everybody knows who they are. Right. You talk about baked into the line. There it is. NFL is about as baked in the cake as you could do it, right? The highest volume, the highest limits. For the squares, it's actually I don't want to say it should be easier, but all right. Yep, Rem, game over, no doubt. All right, Minnesota for Mac. Not much going on here. Great, Josh, and it's great to have you in our chat. Yeah, Serbia will take on Germany for the FIBA World Cup. But again, the U.S. If your goal, hey, you want to make the Olympics, you want to win Olympic gold. Remember, there'll be some different players come the Olympics. Titans and Saints. Not many these non-conference games here to open up, but here's the Saints, a 3-point favorite in this one. The total is 41.5.
Yeah, we talked about 41.5. I'm going to go under this total, Ramon. It's like 6-0 to the under in the last decade off of a total of 41. So I think that's where I'll be headed. And if I take a look at, there's a lot of unknowns, right? We don't know how, things are going to work with the Saints. I think he's probably going to be pretty good there. We're not sure who's going to take over for Kamara there for a little bit, how that's going to go. I just always feel like with Tannehill, things are kind of up in the air, but I think at least he finally has a pretty decent receiving core. But I am going to go ahead and look to the under. Both of these teams have pretty stout defenses.
Tannehill's fine when he's healthy. This guy wins games. He, takes care of the ball for the most part. Question mark, yes. The question mark certainly with the same. I hope the best for Derek Carr, but it looks like a little bit of when you were supposed to be the man and it didn't quite work out. Now you're going to a situation that I don't think the Saints are any better than the Raiders or any potentially any better with or without. And the Titans still have that program going a little bit. I mean, I know they were on they struggled there at the end, but that we'll see. They should. They had Tannehill had problems, so I'm going to take a field goal here with Tennessee in this one. It was 3.5, and I'll buy it. I'll buy it 3.5. I'll buy it up to 4. Give me the road dog here in this one. I'll take the Titans in this one. 49ers and the Steelers. This is the Super Bowl we've never got. Right? This one somewhere along. This is the one you played on Madden, right? And you set it all up for that never happened. So the 49ers and the Steelers. It's probably not going to happen this year either. But I don't know. Anything can happen with the Steelers at any moment. We know the Niners have to be considered a little bit of a contender with their man Purdy. Do you believe? Was it real? Was it a fluke? He's back. Is he back too soon? He's in there. And many of the Steelers at home getting points. It's about as solid as a trend as you can get. But I don't know what do you got?
I'm going to take Pittsburgh at home. That's what I'm going to do here. They cover I think it's like 62% of the time they're at home.
I think only that. It feels like more.
It might be more. That's just what I have. But yeah, I kind of feel like it's going to be a little bit of an unknown with Purdy, right? We know that San Francisco has this elite squad, but we know it's a tough place to play. And for whatever reason, I mean, everyone is jumping on this Steelers team here to just totally outperform their numbers last year. I'm not so sure I'm a total believer in the Steelers, but I think they're going to give them a run for their money here early on, especially with folks like Kittle and stuff out still for San Francisco. I think this is going to be one of the knockout dragouts here, Ramon. But I like the Steelers and the points at home.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it also qualifies in some of those numbers that I was quoting there, if you like those, right? Because you got the road favorite again, right? The road favorite of less than 3 points again here. But I think for me, the thing with Pittsburgh, look, they're 0-5 in their last 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 home openers. But you look at the overall picture. Maybe this is why I thought it was such a more solid trend. Pittsburgh last 9 games as a home underdog, 7-1-1 against the spread. Pittsburgh also 10-3-1 against the spread when the spread is under a field goal. Now they were the favorite in some of those, but what it indicates is close games, right? So games that were expected to be close. That's where the Steelers have thrived, covering 10 of their last 14 in games rated a field goal or less. Meanwhile, we know San Francisco was undeniably hot last year with their winning streak, with the way they closed out the season, the playoff loss notwithstanding, and the injuries and the injury that occurred and all that. They still won 12 of their last 13, covering 10 of those games. So, but here's it. If I can just try to give something negatively on the Niners. I mean, look, Purdy was, he's 7-1 as a starter, but Pickett, they like him in Pittsburgh. If you can get those fans on your side, then you're the man until.
What is the stuff I've seen on Twitter? You've probably seen it, right? Is Kenny Pickett better than Lamar Jackson at juking out the safeties? Have you seen that?
I don't know, about that, but look, for a guy that comes in, Pickett was never drafted to be the savior. It was kind of like let's draft the home kid, see if it worked, and that's kind of sometimes the way things work out in Pittsburgh. And but how about this? The Niners 6-9 against the spread in those same games. So I talk about Pittsburgh 10-3-1 in their last 14 when the games are 3 or less on the spread. San Francisco's 6-9 in their last 15 when the spread is 3 or less. So I'm going to take the Steelers with you, and we're going to be on the Steelers, of course, in this one. All right, and I think the Niners. I think they'll be fine. I think that someone's going to have to challenge this Eagles team. And
I hope we get that one at 3. We'll see.
Yeah, no. Well, again, here we're gonna buy. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna make sure I get a field goal out of this. I'm gonna lay some juice. I don't care about what anybody says. I want to win.
Right. I think that's more important.
I'm taking money line on Pittsburgh actually on some of it, so I'll be doing both. I'll be spreading it all over the place there. I'll do some 2.5, but 3.5 money line. All right. And let's see. Maybe not. Oh, hit another public dog. Yeah, maybe we're on that public dog.
Oh, goodness.
Are we? Okay. Sounds cool.
Probably in a bad mood today, Rick said.
Well, no, I don't know. It just seemed like to me, San Francisco, they're definitely a contending team in the NFC. Pittsburgh, they're hoping to, play well enough to, be that perennial playoff team that they usually are. But really, they've been barely 5. What are they? 9-8 and 9-7 last year with the tie. So they've been just over 500. All right, Mindy. The Cardinals are on the clock here, apparently. Who would have thought that the Commanders would have been a 7-point favorite? The line in the summer wasn't this high, but just feels like the Cardinals, talk about goofball organizations, still feels uncomfortable laying 7.5 points with this Commanders team. Yes, they've got new ownership. At least the guy's not, some misogynist, racist, whatever he is. This guy's just a little goofy. Just a goofy guy with a lot of money. So maybe maybe they'll build a new stadium. Maybe they'll change the name to something else or whatever. But they're a 7-point favorite. And Sam Howell, he's not a rookie, but he might as well be.
Yeah, they said they want to go back to they said they want to go back to the Redskins. So maybe they will.
No chance. You'd never do that.
I know. It's just funny comments from a funny guy, right? But yeah, this is by far the lowest number on the board, and I think it is going to go ahead and come into the under. I don't know how the Cardinals are going to score at all this season. I'm really worried about this Cardinals team. I really like the receiving core here for the Commanders. I think their defense has played well over the last couple of years. I think this one is going to be if the Commanders can score 37 on their own. I think this is kind of probably be a 28-3, something like that. Give me the under here in this one.
Right. It was so for the Cardinals and their whole situation right now, and Kyler Murray off the injury, certainly at this point, and I guess you have with Josh Dobbs now as the starter. What they're saying, huh?
It's bizarre, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like the Cardinals are tanking already, right? They're already looking, but look, Caleb, they're already saying, you know what, we might just come back to USC, but I don't think we want to go to Arizona. They look like the worst organization. Nobody wants to play for these guys, apparently. And so, it's under. It's under City. It has to be an under here, I would think, no doubt. I'm not sure Sam Howell is going to be overwhelming here. Okay, that game against the Cowboys, I'm not – they won by 20 in that game. But under in Washington home games, 17-6 in the last 23 at home. Also, they went under in 10 of their last 13 last year. Arizona's gone under in 4 of their last 5 openers. And Cardinals haven't won here in 25 years. So they don't play every year, but it's been 8 games.
Wow.
Once every 3 years. Okay. we'll take the. We've got a lot of NFL consensus, and we thank everyone for. I'll be on Sunday. I'll be going over the Sunday games, and then we will hear from Mindy, and so we will have consensus. What you'll need to do is go over to Tony'sPicks.com.